Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We have got another video today. We're going to go over part 3 of the defense tree for Masteries. I've already done support and already done offense. I will link both videos at the end of this video and little cards up the top throughout this video, so please look out for them. I'm also going to add in chapters for tier 1 and tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 and tier 6 in case of something that you just kind of want to get straight to the point with. This one's a little bit more complicated than the rest. I'm going to go through a bit more detail with these, so this video might be slightly longer. Apologise for that, but let's get into it. Okay, so defense tree is probably the most difficult one to kind of understand of the thinking behind it. It's mainly used for champions like supportive type champions or arena champions like debuffers and buffers. You don't really use it for damage at all, but there is a few perks for it. There is a certain way you can use it for clan boss as well, for like unkillables and stuff, to help push up your damage with things like Retribution and stuff. But I'm going to try not to get into that today. If you guys want to see a video on that, let me down underneath in the comments and we'll see what we can do with future content. But for now, we're going to start with tier 1 and tier 2, like we do say for the 1, because the tier 1 is basic knowledge, basically. Like, I expect everyone to know this just by reading it. And then we'll go into tier 6, which will have its own categories when I do the editing. Okay, this says it while it does on the card. It gives you 10 resistance, so if you want to build a resistance on a champion, you obviously start here for resistance. If you want to build sustainability, this is where you come for extra defense. So as you can probably already considered, this side's probably a little bit about resistance, this side's a little bit about defense, but they both come with each other as well, because you have resistance on here as well. So if you want to build high resistance, this is definitely the tree that you definitely rely on more than the other two. This is good for certain content like Bommel, Doom Tower, just in general. Maybe for the waves, if you want some resistance against the Torments, for example, whatever. What your reason to be. Resistance in arena is not really used that much. A lot of people do take Unshakable for arena. Honestly, only build resistance in the arena if you're packing 700 resistance without a lead, and then you still need good survivability, HP, speed, defense, etc. If you don't hold all them, don't build it, because you'll just get debuffed and whacked basically. And even with champions like Lady Kimmy with increased accuracy, I'm pretty sure there is now a rare that has increased accuracy. It's pretty easy to get hold of increased accuracy, so you do want to think about that. And then also there is a few champions now, more legendaries, that have a decent accuracy aura in all battles. So improved parry, then it kind of says what it does on the tin. It says decreases the damage by his champion by 8% when his champion is hit with a critical hit. So basically, if I have a Trunda, she doesn't critical hit and I don't benefit from this. But if a Trunda does a AoE and crits, now any nuker that's in the arena, if you're gold 4 and 5, 99% of the time, if they're built correctly, they're going to go crit you. So this is always going to proc. So it's a good thing to have for like arena, for like duchies, basically revivers, or anyone that's defense based or survivability team. This is a good one to kind of have. So margin endurance then kind of gives you a bit more. Decreases this target's turn damage received by 10% if this champion has a sleep fear, true fear buffs, debuff. So if they CC you and you have this, you're going to take less damage. That's a bonus. If you have freeze on you already, then you're going to take less damage, because freeze allows them to do less damage. That's why freeze is not that strong in like arena and stuff like that. Increases the amount of healing and the value of the shields buffs this champion receives by 5%. I'm pretty sure, so if we have like a Chris in the team, the amount of healing will value the shields buffs of the champion by 5%. So yeah, so Chris would be good with this, and other champions that you're going to use with Chris that has healing on. So like Vask, with someone probably with a shield set, you could kind of benefit from the healing from this for sure. I think that kind of just says it all. So you basically need a shield set, right? Or someone that puts up shields for you to benefit from that. If you're not putting up shields or don't have a shield, then you're not benefiting from it. It's a waste of masteries. Did we cover this one? Yeah, we did. Okay. Blast Proof decreases the target damage by AoEs, attack by 5%. This is why Clan Boss is this. A lot of people take this on defense tree because it's he has 2 AoEs, and a lot of people use this in arena as well against AoE champions because a lot of people run AoE nukers. So a bit of a dry mouth there. So yeah, basically yeah, any type of AoE nuker you're going up against, you want that one. Now this is probably one of my favorite on this tree. I'll probably say it's my favorite actually for arena. It has a 30% chance of placing a block debuff on this champion for 1 turn when stun, sleep, true fear, freeze, or whatever. That's only one champion does that. Debuff expires on his champion. So you sleep him. You sleep a warlord. Warlord has a 30% chance of placing a block buff for his champion for 1 turn when this expires. So if he takes a turn, he's then gonna have true fear. He will have the block buffs up. This is why it's really good on champions like Warlord, Kaima, Duchess in arena, and this is why you see it quite regularly. This works like a stronger version of Cleansing Accessory. So Cleansing Accessory has a 5% chance to cleanse you every 1 turn, right? And has a 5% chance. If you have 3 pieces, it's 15%. This one's a little bit stronger. Heal this champion by 10% of the max HP when they kill a enemy. We cool down by 1 turn. Okay, so heal this champion by 10% of the max HP. So if they have high HP, this would be good on HP based champions like Mountain King maybe, and stuff like that. If they kill that enemy, I suppose maybe Macabre, you could run it maybe, and then get a warm turn cooldown. So anyone that can kill, pretty efficient, and who's a strong damage dealer, has good HP, I definitely would be looking into Bloodthirst. We have Resurgent. This is like a really popular one for people as well. It has a 50% chance of removing 1 debuff on his champion when they lose 25% of their HP. More from a single enemy skill. Okay, so I'm not too sure if this works on AoEs, but I'm pretty sure it does work on AoEs. Not too sure if this works on AoEs, but basically your target loses 25% of their HP. You have a chance of removing the debuff, and yeah, just removing a debuff. So if you have someone like Trunda, someone like that, and you don't kill them, they have a chance to remove a debuff. I do recommend that you always build in much damage as possible on your arena champions, just so you can get a bit more less chance of this proccing basically, and the faster you kill them, the faster you win the arena fight. Again, Doom Tower as well, faction wars, etc. So we've done this one. Okay, Shadow Heal. So heals this champion by 6% of the max HP each time an enemy is healed. Procs occurs once per turn. Okay, so basically, if they have a Sifi on their side for arena, Sifi heals with the passive. If you have this ability, there you will then heal 6% of your max HP of their max HP. So yeah, so of their max HP, sorry. So their CF's most likely got high HP anyway. She'll heal from the passive, and then gives you the chance of healing if you have the shadow heal. Again, most of the time they're going to have this on their team. If they're going to have a healer on their team, they're going to have good HP anyway. It's one that's not really used that much, but like on healers and stuff like that, then maybe normally on revivers you take other masteries instead, like this one and maybe wisdom. I mean, this was probably a bit situational. It's probably a bit of this is where we're going into masteries of the day, where masteries are sometimes a bit what's the word that I'm looking for? Can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but basically there's probably personal opinion, right, or person's own preference, where they would take that over something else. Like I would take wisdom of battle most of the time for arena, you know. Okay, so stubborn boreness, I think I said that correctly. Increases the resistance by 10 for each debuff on his champion. Stacks up to 30. So you have debuffs, your resistance comes higher, basically. It adds resistance. It doesn't add resistance if you don't have debuffs on you. So a lot of people don't tend to use this, but this is sometimes a good idea to take for other champions, like maybe a warlord or something like that. This has a 6% chance of placing a debuff leech for 1 turn when placing stun, fear, true fear, freeze, or any type of CC buff. So I suppose you could use this in Doom Tower if you're, for example, where someone might try to true fear you. Faction Wars has fear and true fear. I mean, a few of the Doom Tower bosses now have stun, so you could maybe use that there. But again, mainly a lot of people would take this where they would, for example, CC a warlord, and then they would go and do an A1 with Harvest Disparity to see if they can land a leech. So if they have a cleanse accessory on, or a mastery that might cleanse them, then they would also have a chance of removing the leech instead of the CC buff or the defense down, for example. That's the best way of playing this one. This is the best situation I can think of where I'd use it myself. Let me down in comments if you would use this anywhere else. I was thinking clan boss, but then if you don't take a stun, then it wouldn't really matter, and it'd have to be on that champion you got, unless you run it on all 5 of your champions, which I couldn't see that because there'd be other masteries you want to run. So we've gone over Harvest Despair. Okay, Delay Death. A lot of people take this. Decreases the damage this champion receives by a specific amount of enemy by 0.75 with each hit taken that from the enemy. Damages the reduction stacks up to 6% for each enemy. So they have 4 enemies, and let's say they have 4 damage dealers, and let's say they have 4 Trunders. Trunder hits twice on the A2. She will proc that for 1.5, as it's a 0.75 for each hits taken, and then it can stack up to 6 times. So getting up to the 6% probably isn't that easy, but if it's in the right situation, you can. And this is where multiple hitters are not probably great, because a lot of people do take this. And again, this is why probably AoE damage is a lot more stronger for arena, because it's just AoE and normally get wiped. So a lot of people do take this on defenses teams for arena. Solidarity. This basically increases allies' resistance by 5 for each buff placed on them. with this champion. So basically, if Sifi puts up 3 buffs, you're gonna get a 15 resistance added on everyone for each buff. So she puts up 3 buffs, times up by 5, you get 15 extra resistance. We're gonna have Deterrence. So Deterrence is mainly a clan boss for unkillables. Some people will take it for a nuker, for example, in arena, could be quite useful. I see it a few times on candies. So if you get CC'd or slept, a lot of people use Kaimars now for arena. So this is a good way. If you have a nuker with a strong A1, and you might want to look at this for your defense. And like 20% is a decent chance as well. Obviously it has a 1-turn cooldown now because people were abusing this in Hydra right with the Samuel cheese. So it's not as strong as it used to be. I mean in killables I would use it all the time, but now with the 1-turn cooldown, I don't know, I don't feel like it's as strong. I feel like it's a little bit of a nerf to unkillables as well, because a lot of people used to run this for unkillable. Right, so Retribution, this is definitely an unkillable mastery that you would take in clan boss, because if you lose so much of your HP or more from a single enemy skill, then you have chance to counter attack. You don't really see this until you get into like turn 20, turn 30. Arena, people use it as well for, like, again, candies, a situation like that. It's a 50% chance, it's a high chance to proc, and it can be really annoying if you have a hard hitter on A1. We have Cycle of Death. So a lot of people mainly use, in my experience of doing Tagos and stuff, Retribution or Delay or Cycle of Revenge, because they're the main two. Cycle of Revenge is a mastery that's normally taken on speed boost champions with tiny intervention. This is why people start building hedges with less critical rate as possible to stop proccing this mastery, because it is consistent. It's a 50% chance of increasing the turn meter by 15, and an ally is tacked with a critical hit. Will only increase the target's turn meter once if an ally receives a single skill, a single crits. So, like, again, most people are crit in arena. If they're not crit in arena, they build champions wrong, because the nukers won't be doing the damage that it should be. So this is a strong mastery to take. Most revivers will have this, most tanky teams will have this. Selfless Defense is a mastery that's normally took for tanky teams again, and just mainly in one champion to soak up damage. I think if you put this in a turn order, a certain place, you have a chance of waking up someone if they take a if you try to sleep this champion. I think if this procs, there you can wake them up. So, like, some people do take on a Duchess, for example, to wake up a Duchess in Plat Arena. I don't personally take myself because I like other masteries for my Duchess, but this is mainly for like a defense. Plat team just being very specific. If you want to soak up damage in Hydra, again, you'd take Selfless Defense. Now, it's important to note that you can only prop this once per enemy, so it doesn't stack as far as I'm aware of. So there's no point taking this twice into arena defense or anything on 2 champions, because only one can receive this, as far as I'm aware of. If I'm wrong, let me down in comments, but I'm pretty sure it's 1. Again, I'm going to start with tier 6. I'm going to start with Bulwark, because Selfless Defense goes with Bulwark quite well, and this decreases all targets turn damage by 5%. This champion will receive that damage instead. So, like, champions like Ursula and stuff like that, this is quite really handy, especially in the Guardian set, because the Guardian set helps a bit more as well. Volgath likes this one as well. You can put it on a Duchess, but I don't think it's best as a tier 6 for Duchess. And there's other champions as well you could take this for, but this is definitely the one of the 3 on the defense tree on a tier 6 that this gets used quite a bit. We're going to go into this one. Iron Skin just gives you 200 plus defense. I don't know many people that run this. I don't think I've seen this ran at all. Out of the 4, it's definitely something that's ran the least. And I don't actually know a situation where I'd actually take this, because there's another 7 choices I can take depending if I take support or offense. I mean, for clan boss, I would probably take like War Master or something just for extra damage. For arena, I would probably take something like Tiny Intervention, maybe Unshakable, depending on how much resistance I was packing. Just like, I just don't know where I'd use this really. Fearsome Presence then, it's a very good mastery to have, and it's probably the most popular one when it comes to the arena side. Outside arena, I can't really see it that popular, because I think Unshakable will be more popular with resistance teams, especially if you're trying to build up to like 500, 600 resist. So Fearsome Presence, then how would this work? Obviously with artifacts like stun sets, provoke sets, and sets like days, you can get the extra 5% to help it proc more, which is super cool. This is what makes the provoke set probably the best CC set in the game. Obviously it's hardest the one to get, because you have to farm Ice Golem, and who really farms Ice Golem, let's be honest. Again, if you champions are not 100% with the AoE provokes, right, or for like CC, you could take this as a tier 6 option if you had enough accuracy and hoping to land a bit more. So for example, like a Kantra, I would probably take this because I'd put her in a stun set because she has a lot of AoEs, and her AoE provokes are not 100% consistent. They're only consistent once you put up enough debuffs. So that's kind of cool to know. And she also does some other debuffs as well. This benefits like a block buff if it's not 100%, and etc. Also, where would I take this? So CC set covered. Okay, so Miley Tanker, for example, she only has a 50% chance of landing the provokes for 2 turns if you take this, and then it comes to a 55% chance, not 50, to provoke for 2 turns. But a champion like Umbro, if she's booked for 100%, I wouldn't take this mastery, because she does her AoE 100% for 2 turns. So as long as you have enough accuracy, this will make sense to take. Believe it or not, I have seen this on Umbro. I mean, going back to that, if she's not fully booked on the A3, you might want to think about that. And then the last one to kind of talk about is resistance. Again, like mainly myself, I take this for like Doom Tower for certain champions, but bearing in mind I can build like 500 resistance quite comfortably without masteries, with good sustainable stats. So this is something that you really want to consider. I mean, a lot of people are running this for Hydra at the moment, and again for arena, I wouldn't really run it myself until you got to at least 650 resistance without any lead or a tier 6 mastery. And then again, going back over that, you still need good survivability, etc, right? For dupe champions, I mean, it could be fun, right? If you have 3 Dutches, then you might want to build one. Same for Seafees, etc, but it's not many places where I could think about at the moment resist is strong. Saying that in future this could change if we see a resistance buff being added within the game. I feel if we do get a resistance buff added in the game, this tier 6 mastery could then become quite insane and quite important, and probably the most popular one for defense for arena. But that's something we'll have to see on. Again, I hope you guys like this. This is the last one for the series. We'll start a new series with some other things in the future. Again, I hope you like this. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This does help me support me making further content. If you want to go check out my Twitch streams, go ahead. We have a bit of a laugh in there. Let's sort of unwinding down for the day, should we say. And we do a lot of takeovers as well in there if you want to learn something. So yep, come and check me out on Grid Reaper TV Raid on Twitch, or you can find my link on my YouTube channel, or join my Discord and have a bit of fun in there. Sometimes I do hang out my Discord as well, and I'm planning a little bit more to do that in the future. But again, I'll see you all on the next video. Thank you for watching me, and yeah, I'll see you soon.